Hello, everyone. This is again Dr. Kim's Scholarship and Journey. We have come a long way in this new series of the parables. And today, the parable we cover is the parable of 10 bridesmaids, oftentimes known as 10 virgins. But bridesmaids may be better title, and 10 bridesmaids. And this is the last parable in Matthew's gospel that we study. And from next week, and we'll study the parables unique to Luke. So we'll see what this parable, which is found actually only in Matthew, right? Certainly we believe this may represent Matthew's theology or eschatology. And as many believe, this parable may not be coming from Jesus directly, because not only the substance in this parable is kind of a little bit weird, and 5 women and 5 women and 10 women together, and 5 of them are wise, and 5 of them are foolish. But also all these elements we see here is kind of a Matthean allegorical elements are found. So maybe this is from Matthew, and so we'll see more about this parable of overview. Again, the source of this parable is uncertain. Okay, it is found only in Matthew. And the kingdom of God or heaven is compared with the 10 bridesmaids' preparedness for meeting the bridegroom, right? That's interesting story. We don't see here a bride, but only bridesmaids who are going out to meet the bridegroom. So that's interesting. And also we see in this parable strong allegorical elements, okay, like bridegroom, right? And bride and brides kind of things, wedding. So how to understand the 5 wise women's behavior toward the other 5? So maybe some say, they are unethical because they don't lend, oil to the other women who are short of oil. So we'll see whether this is really ethical issue, or what is the meaning of this parable then. So Matthew 25, we hear, then the kingdom of heaven will be like this. 10 bridesmaids took their lamps, and went to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish. So they are told, right? They are said to be foolish, 5 of them. And the other 5 were wise. What is the criteria? We have to see. When the foolish took their lamps and they took no oil with them, that's really weird, right? They did not prepare additional oil, right? They just took their lamps. Otherwise, they did not take the oil with them. But the wise took a flask of oil with their lamps. So they are very mindful of, right, the situation and time. So they don't know, whether maybe they will be short of oil. So they are very prepared. As the bridegroom was delayed, right, here is, as the bridegroom was delayed, all of them became drowsy and slept. There's nothing wrong with all 10 people here. They're all, drowsy and slept. All slept, by the way. There's nothing wrong. They are humans anyway. But at midnight, there was a shout, look, here is the bridegroom, right? All of a sudden, here is the bridegroom, come out to meet him. Now, this is kind of a real situation. Now, then all those bridesmaids got up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish said to the wise, give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out. Oh, that's really terrible, right? this difficult situation. Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out. But the wise replied, no. Oh, no, because there will not be enough for you and for us. You had better go to the dealers and buy some for yourselves. It seems unfriendly or selfish, self-centered, egoistic. You might want to say that. We'll see. That's the reason, only thing that we have to see it. What's the meaning of this thing, right? So ethical or unethical? Verse 10, while they went to buy it, the bridegroom came up, and those who were ready went with him into the wedding banquet. Boom. And the door was shut. Bum. Later, the other bridesmaid came also, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he replied, truly I tell you, I do not know you. That's really shock and weird, right? That's not a good thing, something you want to hear. But somehow this parable, it's hard to understand what's going on here. What's the problem, right? So we'll see from this parable from Matthew's perspective, whether it makes sense to them. But maybe others do not understand this parable very well. So if we interpret Matthew's meaning, so to speak, how can we understand the lambs here? I don't know. Lambs could be, kind of your membership to the community, Matthew's community, right? Certainly you are members. So lambs. But when you take lambs, the most essential thing that you need is what? Oil, right? You need both. Lambs, like the body, we can't help think about, James, where, it says, faith without works is dead. Faith without action is dead, right? Well, we need a body, hands and, legs and head and heart, everything. But we need a spirit, right? Inside us. So body and spirit should go hand in hand. That's what a person is. So if you have lambs, you certainly need oil. Without oil, lambs is nothing. So oil may be something like action, right? Faith and action go together. So oil. What is oil? And in the parable, we know that, oil was not shared. Why is oil not shared? What it means to be prepared for the bridegroom, right? One thing you should know is that all 10 bridesmaids were drowsy and slept when the bridegroom was not coming. There's nothing wrong with their fatigueness and drowsiness, and sleeping all together. There's nothing wrong. The problem is when there is a real situation, when the bridegroom came, right? Now we can see some of them were ready to meet them because they had both lamps and oil, and others, they had only lamps, but no oil, right? So oil was not shared. So that's real difficult, terrible situation. So some of them were prepared and others not prepared. But eventually, the harsh ending there, right? So 5 foolish women, when they came and, asking the Lord, right, open to us the door. And the Lord, certainly here, the Lord, right, the bridegroom, but the Lord, that's interesting. says, no, I can't. The door is shut. That's real shocking ending. But from Baptist perspective, that is kind of a Messianic theology, right? There will be the end. There will be the final consequence and judgment. Until then, you have time, but there will be, a moment that you have to face it. So somehow this is a parable reflects very much of Messianic issues and theology and mission. So here is reflection. What are some things that you cannot share with others, right? So 5 wise, bridesmaids did not share what they had. Why they should not share? What are some things that you cannot share with others? Well, we can think of something, for example, right? If you have a mission that you have to do, that's your mission, right? That's your responsibility. There are some things that you have to take care of. If you're a pastor, you should do your job as pastor. If you're a teacher, it's your job. You have to do diligently. No one can do for you. Teacher, it's your job. You have to do it, right? You cannot share what you have to do with others. You have to fulfill your mission. So in that regard, okay, what you have to do, that is oil. You cannot share. That's the essential thing. Why you are pastors? If you don't do the work you have to do, the essential thing, right? The pastoral works and things you have to do cannot be shared with others. That's your job. So in that sense, this parable makes sense. Okay, the wise, the 5 wise bridesmaids did not share because they have to meet, right, the bridegroom with their oil. Can we say that the teaching of this parable goes with James, as I said earlier? I think so, right? Faith without action or work is dead. As the body without the spirit is dead. It's just so simple. So if you have lamps, the form of Christianity, right? If you have lamps, you have names, believing something. You have form of a religiosity in Christianity, okay? You have a membership. You have great names in your community. But faith without action is dead. In other words, even if you have, lamps, you need to have enough oil all the time, which means faith and work should go together hand in hand every time. You must be ready no matter what happens. You always have to have these two, faith and work together. So I think, this parable can be matched with James. In what sense does this parable reflect Matthew's theology and eschatology? I talked many times about this, right? So Matthew and unique parables, very much consistent throughout, and also reflect Matthean interest and view of theology, which is what, until the end, you have time, you should do your best, but there will be a consequence. Thank you for watching. Let me finish here. So from next time, I will deal with Lucan parables. There are unique parables in Luke. I love, many parables in Luke there, or such as, Good Samaritan and rich farmer, and what else? The unjust judge and widow, and what? And rich man and Lazarus, right? And Lazarus. So there are about 7 unique parables we'll study, in the coming weeks. So please come back to watch more video. And if you like this video, please like this one. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, okay? the expression for this channel. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye bye.